I'm on vacation, so I'm probably going to do a couple of videos uh, while I'm on vacation. I don't know exactly what exactly I'm going to talk about, but I know my first video I want to talk about is them New York Knicks. Bro, they went in San Antonio and took both games. And so I said, you know what? I wonder how much it's going to cost to go to a Knicks game for game 3. Look at this shit.
The Knicks would win game 3. Game 4 would be the clincher. $16,000 for the nosebleed seats.
Just to get in.
The latest get-in price for the Knicks games is almost $11,000 for game 3. $16,000 for game 4, which if the Knicks were to win game...
Damn, so $11,000 if the Knicks, like just to go watch the Knicks game, 11 grand, bro. Can you believe that shit?
Game 3, game 4 would be the clincher. $16,000 for the nosebleed seats.
Just to get in.
The latest get-in price for the Knicks games is almost
What's up, Pistol?
$11,000 for game 3. $16,000 for game 4, which if the Knicks were to win game 3, game 4 would be the clincher. $16,000 for the nosebleed seats.
Damn. Would you guys pay that kind of price? Would you guys pay that kind of price to go to a game? Damn. Look at this scene right here. Watch this. Hey, Pistol, how much would you spend for a Lakers NBA Finals ticket? They were in the finals. How high would you go? What's the highest you would go, bro? What's the highest you would go for a Lakers ticket, NBA Finals? LeBron James, hypothetically. Like how high? What's the highest you'd go, bro? I think the most I've ever spent on a ticket, a per ticket, Cowboys and Texans in the 2015 season or 2016? I think I spent like $400 for front row tickets, gridiron section at the front. And I thought that was a lot. I'm like, God damn, I bought 2 of them. And I'm like almost a grand. And I'm thinking that was a lot. Like, shit, that ain't shit now, man. These tickets are going in the thousands to tens of thousands. Like, damn, past the Super Bowl. You know, Super Bowl prices. I don't think I would spend $8 grand on it, but I think I would probably spend like, if I was to go to a Knicks Spurs game, I'd probably maybe drop like $1,500. Like the highest I would go. But I wouldn't go any higher than that. Anything higher than that is just, so you can have it, bro. You know, a lot of people are complaining about the ticket cost. I heard they were like asking Trump, like, because Trump's going to game 3, and they're like, and then some reporters like, oh, it cost, the regular fan can't go to the game. And Trump said, well, then just watch it at the house. That's life. And, I'm going to be honest with you. He's kind of right in a sense, because at this point, it's just like, how bad do you want to go to the game, right? So they're holding it hostage. They're holding it hostage to the average fan. And if you made the tickets like affordable, then everybody and their mama's going to try to go there. So you're talking about security issues, a lot of like crowd control, probably more fights are going to spring out, more alcohol is going to be involved, a lot more fighting is going to happen, take place. So, I mean, it's kind of like, they're kind of like, okay, how bad do you want to go to the game? It's a supply and demand thing. So, for me, I don't have an issue with tickets going up to 10 grand. You know how much tickets were to the Knicks game? Yes, like before the game 2 win? You can go to a Knicks game for what? I think they were selling those tickets on StubHub for like $5 or $6K. Now it's dumped up double. You think it's scripted? Oh, come on, man. It's scripted? The Knicks haven't won a final since 73. My dad, who's a big New York Knicks fan, we were talking the other day, and he still got his Allen Houston jersey. He still was chilling in the garage. And I said, hey, man, so what do you think about the Knicks, man? The won 13 in a row. And he said, man, I'm excited. We haven't won a championship since 73, man. And, there's these videos of all these Knicks fans just taking over stadiums. You should see it. Philly, Atlanta, uh, what was it? Cleveland, and now San Antonio. I'm talking about just invading stadiums. And a lot of people are complaining about it, saying, oh, you come pull up and stuff. And I'm like, to be honest with you, I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool, man. My dad ain't buying a ticket. He said he's fine watching at the house. But he's excited that the Knicks are going to win the championship. Because remember, my old man never seen one since 73. So for him, it's like it's a blessing because when it doesn't come often. So when you do finally accomplish something, you cherish it. Because in life, you take more L's than wins. So that's why, I don't have a problem with Knicks fans getting rowdy. You know what I'm saying? And stuff, because it's just, other than the stupid fighting they do, which that happens in every stadium, by the way, but other than the fights, like all these random fights that I see, I'm watching on Instagram and I'm watching these videos here, random people boxing. I think that's kind of a little bit lame, but other than that, I don't see any problem with them celebrating and taking over stadiums. I think it's fucking great, bro. I think it's great for the league. The league has been born for quite some time all this year. Players sitting out, injuries. The playoffs came. Durant couldn't fucking play. Sat out. Luka Doncic wasn't even playing in the playoffs, so you didn't even get to see the best of the players play, right? And so with the load management, NBA's been kind of boring this year, and I think, the Knicks fans kind of made it a little bit exciting about it. So, I don't know. I'm just excited to watch it. I think Knicks fans deserve it. I hope they win the championship, and I'm rooting for them. Low-key, I hope you guys win it, man. $10,000 to get into a game. $10,000 just to go to a game. That's the get-in price. So that's the nosebleeds, basically. So if the Knicks win Game 3, they're saying the tickets are going to jump to $16,000 a pop. Not a package deal where you get, 3 or 4 tickets. It's like, nope, that's per ticket. You don't get the opportunity to go with a friend, At least make it a +1, where you can go with 2 people for $16,000 in the nosebleeds, and you can share your experience with binoculars at the very top for $16K. Hey, winning doesn't happen often. I'm happy for Brunson. He used to play for the Mavericks. Karl Anthony Towns played for Minnesota for a long time. Hasn't won. Those guys are seasoned veterans. Anunoby's good. Josh Hart's a beast. The Knicks fans are crazy right now, man, and then they have every reason to enjoy it, man. They bring kind of life back to the NBA. Because, like I said, it's kind of been boring the last couple of years, and they're all this whole invading stadium thing I think is really cool. And they kind of got the villain thing going on, the bad guy, I guess, in wrestling terms, and I like it. I think it's cool, man. I like it because, like I said, the NBA's been kind of boring, and I was kind of rooting for the Knicks last year to come out of the East, especially after they beat Boston and Tatum went down with the whole Achilles tear. And I was kind of rooting for the Knicks to come out of the East last year, So, to each their own. I'm happy for them, and I hope they get a ring. Oh, the biggest question is, where does LeBron go? Hey, you know what? I heard from a little birdie that LeBron James might go to New York. Now, imagine in a crazy scenario if that happens. And LeBron, he wants a 3rd ring bad. A 5th ring bad. He wants a 5th ring. LeBron would make sense for him to either go back to Cleveland or, crazy as it sounds, may go to New York. If you're talking about brand name, LeBron has a sneaker with a New York on it and New York's colors. That's another $1 billion that he's going to make. Since we're talking numbers, it's all about money. I think it would be better if LeBron James went to the Knicks. He'll get a 5th ring there. Look how good they are right now. But the question is LeBron willing to take less money? 50, 60 million a year. Maybe that New York payroll tax can afford it, but I don't know. He's probably going to have to take less money because they already got big contracts over there. So, you're talking about having to pay Towns, having to pay Brunson. I don't know if they could fit another big contract in there. You guys think they could fit another contract in there? Man, I'm gonna show y'all the videos of Knicks fans invading San Antonio, bro. This shit is crazy. I'm gonna let y'all see this shit. They got me all pumped up, man. Just wanting to see the experience. Look at this shit. I'm gonna let y'all see it here. Man, that shit is insane. Man, that shit is insane. Knicks fans taking over San Antonio. Look at that. Man, those New York fans don't fucking play. They don't fucking play, man. They are everywhere, bruh. They are fucking everywhere. All in San Antonio. I give y'all credit where credit's due. The Knicks fans are like Cowboys fans. They just show up everywhere. You can't go anywhere without them being there. I got to give them that. Man, you guys are awesome, bro. I wish I could be there to party with you guys, but unfortunately, I have to work long, strenuous hours. But I would love to take my old man up there and let him get the experience. Look at this.
You see what it's about. Look what it's about. What are you talking about? This man right here got the Knicks in the finals 2 games away from winning the whole thing. That's what this is about in the city that everybody's saying feeding off the energy, man. And we coming home. We coming home.
Damn, now they climbing those little street lights. Man, I'll be concerned if I slipped and fell. That's the only thing I would be concerned about, man. If I slipped and fucking fell, bro. Look at this. This is in San Antonio. Look at that shit. Damn. The whole belt to asses thing is the new slogan. Everyone's grabbing that belt and just spanking the floor. Dude, they gonna be partying it up, bro. They gonna be partying that shit up, and I'm happy for them, man. I hope the Knicks win. I'm gonna be rooting for you guys, low key. I hope you guys do win, man. I didn't know Knicks fans got rowdy like that. You know, Marvin, I feel the same way. I had no clue they'd get rowdy like this. But hey, man. They're 2 games away from winning the whole thing. So if you guys do win, man, I'm happy for you, man. No hate, no love lost. I think that this will kind of rejuvenate the NBA again, man. And you know, New York being the old Mecca where everybody goes to the game, you know, that's supposed to be like the grand stage, you know, other than like Vegas or LA or Miami. You know, New York's like the Omega. You know, especially you guys are getting the World Cup finals this year. I think July 19th, if I'm correct. So I'm going to be a little bit excited about watching the World Cup coming up June 11th, because we're not going to have really anything else to watch but boring baseball. Unfortunately, I'm not a baseball fan in June. So at least you get a little of the World Cup tournament to watch. And they're going to be hosting it in the MetLife Stadium. To me, I still don't understand why Jets and Giants share the same stadium. I honestly think they both should get their own stadium. But that's just me personally. It's my personal opinion. I don't like the idea of teams sharing the same stadium. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I don't like it. Lakers and Clippers, I think Pistol for the longest time, y'all share the same stadium. Like, come on, man. Now the Clippers are getting their own stadium. Honestly, I think the Clippers should move back to San Diego, where they once were from. And to me, it just makes more sense to do that instead of having like one mega giant city hosting two teams. But other than that, man, you guys are really fun and exciting to watch. Other than the fighting, I mean, which it happens everywhere. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I haven't seen fights at Toyota Center, because I've seen it. I've seen people get stretched out. I've seen them get knocked the fuck out. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being excited and showing how you love and support your team, and there's nothing wrong with that. We haven't won since 95. I know. Don't remind me. We haven't won a championship since 95. I think the Knicks are, 73? So if you guys win, man, try not to drink too much, all right? Try to be a little bit more responsible. You don't want to pass out and somebody go through your pockets and take your wallet out. You know what I mean? I'm just fucking with y'all. Uh-oh. Knicks fans are going crazy right now. Fast forward a little bit. That must be the watch party there. Them police are everywhere, bro. They waiting for fights to break out. Let me fast forward a little bit. Damn. Hold on. God damn it, you guys enjoyed. I'm fucking jealous, man. My team was 1-1 away from going to the NBA Finals back in 2017. We lost to Golden State in Game 7 here at Toyota. And I was there. And we've lost to the Warriors 5 fucking times in the playoffs. And trust me, every time I think it makes my stomach cringe thinking about it. But at the same time, it takes a long time to win. It takes a long time. And so you cherish these moments because they don't come back often. Like just think, New York Knicks haven't won a championship since 73? 2 finals in the 90s. And then 27 years since their last finals appearance. Just a long wait to become a winner, right? To become a champion. It takes a long time to build to that point. So I don't have a problem with them, I guess being portrayed as the villains, I guess, in this scenario. Name me a stadium where it doesn't get rowdy. San Francisco 49ers, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia fans, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. With them Cowboys, I mean, fans are going to get rowdy, man. But just like I said, it hasn't happened for Knicks fans since 73. So, of course, when it does happen, it doesn't happen quite often. So just cherish it, guys. I believe you guys are going to sweep the Spurs. I really do. I don't think it's going to go past 4. I think San Antonio, they had their opportunity to win in Game 2 and really in Game 1. Really, Spurs should have won the first 2 games, and they couldn't hold their lead. It shows the lack of inexperience from a lot of those rookie contract players. I think the Knicks got more veterans on their team. Brunson and Obley, Towns, Hart. They got more veterans with more experience. And I just think that in this case, experience is going to trump the rookie contract guys. And that's what you're seeing. Both, I think game 1 and game 2 were great to watch. I think both teams put it all out there. And for the most part, the finals have been really exciting to watch. It's been coming down to the wire. So it's been really exciting to watch. Spurs had their moment to come back, tie the series. They didn't. I think it's over. I think the Knicks are going to win in 4. And it doesn't mean that the NBA Finals sucks, because the first 2 games were very exciting to watch. I think the Knicks win game 3. I'm going to predict 7 points. And then I think game 4, they'll win by like 15 or 14, something like that, and they'll close it out. Yeah, I think, it is what it is. To soak it up. It's like I said, next year, because Knicks fans have been so exciting to watch, I'm now inspired to travel to other cities to watch the Rockets on the road. So next year, I'm going to go to New Orleans to go to a couple Pelicans road games when Rockets go there. San Antonio, Dallas, Denver, Phoenix, and Oklahoma City, because those are all like close proximity from me. So I want to go travel to some road games next year. Because I've been to so many games at Toyota Center, it gets boring. And after a while, you get bored, right? So you want to do something that's a little bit more funner. It's outside of your realm. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to some Rockets road games this year. And Knicks fans, they look like they're having fun traveling on the road. So I'm like, God damn it. Now I actually want to go to a couple road games this year. I went to the Rockets game at Dallas January 3rd. I went to a Mavericks-Sixers game on the 1st. Yeah, I went to a couple Rockets home games this year, but I want to go to some road games next year. Really enjoy the traveling fan experience and go to some road games this year. So anyways, have you guys been excited about the NBA Finals so far? Have you guys been excited about the playoffs? Because, man, I'm telling you, these Knicks fans, they know how to party. Hey, Pistol in the 213, if you're watching, buy us some Game 3 tickets, man. they're only 10 grand. You know you got it. Buy me and your ticket, man. I'll buy the plane tickets. You buy the game tickets. How's that sound? You buy the 2 tickets for 10 grand a piece, and I got you on the plane tickets, and I got the hotel. Pistol gonna be like, man, you done ripping me off, Rose. You ripping me off. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. Try to find some better. Okay, here's where it is. Man. Man, I bet these Knicks fans are going to be going ape shit. Believe it or not, we got a large Knicks fan base here in Houston. I was on Instagram the other day scrolling, and I saw it says Knicks fans in Houston, and then they got another one called Knicks fans in San Antonio, and then they got another one called Knicks fans in Austin, and another one called Knicks fans in Dallas. And basically, they have like these little areas where you can go and the fans will meet up and they serve like, food and beer and all that shit. Like maybe it's like a restaurant or something that sort of caters to a particular fan group or fan base. I know we got some here for the Cowboys, and they have like their little spots set up here. And I think it's pretty cool, man, because I didn't know that this type of stuff existed. But yeah, there's apparently a lot of people from New York that live here. And they go to like these little meetups and stuff. I was talking to my girl earlier, and she was telling me about how in Austin they have like a Knicks pub that's not far from there, from where her grandmother used to live, and they have, what do they have down there? Knicks parties, where Knicks fans were at, and it was like packed, like jam packed at these bars. So Knicks fans, man, where are you guys gonna be partying at when you win? If you're not in the New York area, where are you gonna go? You gonna just go get drunk till you can't get up no more? You're gonna get a hangover the next day. If you're gonna drink responsibly. Don't pass out behind the wheel. You don't want a DWI. Oh, they got the fuck Wemby chants going. You know, to be honest with you, man, I'm not saying big crowds aren't good, but I will say that I get claustrophobic kind of. I don't think I can sit in a big crowd like that for a long time. Oh, belts to asses. Damn. Man, I will admit, Knicks fans, you know how to party. And I'll admit, I'm a little jealous. You guys know how to fucking party, bro. Look at that. I think that was in San Antonio. Yep. Nah, I think that was after the Game 2 win right there. Man, they're invading fucking stadiums, bro. I fucking love it. I think it's exciting, man. I love it. I hope you guys enjoy your championship, because I don't think it's going past 4, bro. I think y'all gonna lock this one up. It'll be y'all's first championship since '73. Think how long that was, bro. How long that's been, right? So was it 83, 93, 03, 13? I know I have to count on my fingers. 23, right? So 53 years ago. God damn. How old was everybody back then? God damn. Enjoy it. Enjoy y'all's championship, man. Because like I said, it takes a long time to win in life, just in general. But enjoy this moment, because it may not happen again, or it could happen another 10 years, 15 years from now. Who knows, right? Right? So enjoy it while it lasts, because winning doesn't come often, but when it does, it excites you. And I think that's the lesson we learn from all this. So like when everybody sees these Knicks fans getting rowdy, it's not because they do this every year, right? Because it's like, well, it'd be different if they won 10 championships in the last fucking 20 years. Sure, you'll add another one, you'll be excited, but the excitement isn't as great because you would have expected it already because you've won so much, right? But because winning doesn't happen so often, it becomes more like in the spotlight when it does happen. So you're living the moment because it took so long to get there. I think that's what a lot of people are missing out on. So while they're seeing Knicks fans as like the villains and all this, I'm like, well, not necessarily. No, I don't see it like that. I'm just seeing a team that hasn't won since 73 and hasn't been to a final since 99, right? Excited about their team finally accomplishing something that it took so long to do, right? Not so. I look at it like that. The only thing I don't like is just the fighting. You know, the random fights. I've seen Knicks fans fighting each other, like just random throwing down. And I don't know, man. But like I said, every team does it, so I'm not trying to like villainize them. But I think the fighting in sports is stupid if you're not playing on the field. To me, I just want to go and enjoy the game. Yeah, trash talk happens, right? A little verbal shit, sometimes a little alcohol gets in your system. You want to act a clown. I get it. But at the same time, if you're going to the game with intentions of looking for a fight, like just I'm going to randomly just start fist fighting random people, or the random person that says something I don't like, I'm just going to start swinging on them. I think to me, you've lost the argument at that point. It's like, there's a difference between going to the game, cheering for your team. Of course, there's going to be a little trash talking. Some people drink a little bit. Sometimes some words come out. But other than that, I'm just there because I want to, for the fan experience, just to enjoy the game, get out of the house, not think about the stresses on my life financially, physically, mentally, and all this shit. I just want to go and have a good time. Other than the random fights, I think are pointless. But other than that, I don't have a problem with the celebrations. I think the celebrations are cool. And I think it brings, a lot of excitement. I think Knicks fans I think it's good for the NBA that the Knicks are going to win. And I think it's great for the NBA that they have like this Cinderella story about them, considering the fact that it took them forever to get to this point in time. Knicks fans have been let down for years. My dad's a big Knicks fan, and we've talked about this in the past. And he's even told me that, he kind of likes the villainous that the Knicks got, because for the longest time, they've always been known as a team that just couldn't win, couldn't accomplish anything. And back in, I think, 2013, when Carmelo was there, and I think the Knicks went to the second round, my dad said, I really like this team. I just don't know if Carmelo can get us to the finals. And then, they ended up not happening. I think they lost in the second round, I think to Indiana in 7, if I'm correct. I might be wrong. Somebody fact check me on that. But, other than that, there's been some really great Knicks teams in the past. I think they should have won an NBA Finals. To me, I think personally the 99 New York Knicks should have won the NBA Finals against San Antonio in 99. They were the A-seeded team. They had a badass squad in Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, fucking Charlie Ward, Latrell Sprewell, Larry Johnson. I think the 99 Knicks should have won the finals. But, of course, San Antonio was a real good team that year, too. But the Knicks being the A-seeded team, they beat the Miami Heat in the first round, an infamous tip-in shot. I think that was Allen Houston that did that tip-in with like 0.8 seconds left, putting the Knicks past the Heat in the first round. Big, giant upset. 8 seed knocks off the number 1 seed. Probably one of the most upsetting first rounds in NBA history. I think that year was the lockout year. They only had like a 50-game season. New York came in as an 8-seed underdog and beat a badass Miami Heat team in Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway in a 5-game series, because back then it used to be just a best of 5 for the first round. And that infamous tip-in shot by Allen Houston, I think if I'm correct, somebody fact-check me, that was one of the best epic finishes of all time for the New York Knicks, being an A seed, and then eventually going to the NBA Finals and losing to the Spurs in 5. Now San Antonio is up 2-0, and you could see at the end of the game Um, I think Anthony Towns was crying. I'm gonna try to look that one up. Knicks Spurs game to ending. Let me see. I just want to see the part. I think Carl Anthony Towns was crying. I think at the end of the game. I'm gonna try to fast forward to it. I don't want to, get a copyright strike, but I just want to get to the end of it because I want to make a point. But yeah, Carl Anthony Towns was crying at the end of that game, and he was crying as if they had already won the championship. And I think it's because so many years he's played for Minnesota, so many letdowns, and just for him to just. I think this is game 2. Let me see. Okay, so Knicks were up by 13. And this was like towards the ending of the game here. I'm just trying to fast forward it. My bad. See, right here, San Antonio's up by 2, and I'm just assuming Spurs should have won at that point. But, you got to give Brunson his flowers. This dude is a great fucking one-on-one post-up player that I haven't seen in a long time. Most of the guys, they play off the 3 ball or they have to drive in for a layup, and Brunson just was able just to get the, pull up and do that teardrop shot. And, I mean, he's a great one-on-one player. And I like that. He brings a lot of that 90s style basketball back to the league. And I like it. I'm trying to see the end in here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me bring it up to the big stage real quick because I'm trying to get to the part where I think I saw him crying at the end of the game. Give me a second. Where is Towns at? Trying to look for him. God damn it. Look at that. The Knicks are happy, man. Look, that's John Starks. I forgot about John Starks. Holy shit. Can you believe the Knicks have won 8 in a row? Or no, 13 in a row? I can't believe it. 13 in a row for the New York Knicks. Okay, I wasn't able to see it for some odd reason. I don't know why, but some odd reason I wasn't able to see it. I don't know why, but Carl Anthony Towns was crying after the game. Just tears of joy, and I think just the fact that, like I said, because he realized how hard it is to win. It's hard to win, and when you do, you cherish the goddamn moment. Knicks fans, I hope you win. I'll be rooting for you. Game 3 is when? Let's see. Game 3. Somebody tell me when Game 3 is. It is. Ooh. Come on. Help me out, Google. Monday, June 8th. June 8th is Game 3, and then Game 4 is going to be Wednesday, June 10th. So June 10th, the finals will be over. And I predict Knicks will win by 7 points. Game 3. Come back to me and fact check me if that happens. And I think Game 4, they'll close it out and win by 15. I just think it'll be like the signature. The Knicks are going to go all in, and they're going to push the Spurs. I think at that point, the Spurs are going to break down. And I think the Knicks are just, being at home in front of their home crowd. Oh, my God, with that arena music. Defensive chance out. And I think the Knicks will win in 4. The Knicks will win in 4. That doesn't mean it was a bad NBA Finals, because the games 1 and 2 were just very close. But 3 and 4 will be the games that it's 7-point lead, 15-point lead. But the Knicks are going to win. They're going to win the finals, and I think it's going to be great for the NBA. Now the question is will the New York Knicks repeat next year? It's going to be the biggest question. Depends on how Boston looks with Tatum. Rumors is that Brown's going to get traded from the Celtics. There's a lot of rumors. And then LeBron James possibly returning home to Cleveland to play with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell on a retirement tour. And then there's even the rumor that LeBron might go to New York. Where's Giannis Antetokounmpo going? Is he going to Miami? Because that's the rumor is too. He's going to the Heat. So there's a lot of Going to be a lot of moves to be made in the offseason, so it's going to be very interesting. But enjoy the finals. There's only be 2 games left. Knicks in 4. They're going to win the series. And I expect to see the champagne bottles popping, and I expect to see Knicks fans partying. All I just got to say is just tone it down on the fighting, man. It's really no need for all that shit. You know, the fighting over a sports team. I think we can all be a little bit responsible, drink responsibly, and have fun. No sense in all these random fights going on. It is pointless. You know, there's no sense in that. But other than that, man, you guys have a good time. Have a good time. Enjoy it, because it takes forever to do this. And can Knicks repeat next year? Marvin says. Because remember, I don't think we've had a repeat champion in the NBA in a while, have we? When was our last repeat we had? Warriors? If I'm correct, what was it? 2014, 2015, or 2015, 2016, whatever. The Warriors were the last team to do it, if I'm correct. It has been a while. So, like I said, it's not easy to do it. Over the offseason, contractual issues, stuff like that are going to play a role. Plus, the fact is what are the offseason moves that are going to be made? What pieces are going where? Where's Giannis going? Is Giannis going to remain in the East? Is Miami a destination? Is LeBron going to go back to Cleveland? As that's the rumor. And if he's playing with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and Sam Merrill and Dennis Schroeder and the players they got there, Max Strus, the Cleveland Cavaliers, could be a team to be reckoned with if LeBron decides to return back to the crib. If LeBron going back home to play with Cleveland. But I'll tell you this. If the Knicks want to repeat, hear me out, their smartest move would be to bring LeBron in. Now, the question is LeBron going to take less money, or are players willing to reconstruct their contract to make it happen? Just say, hey, the pieces are here. You add LeBron to New York, sign him for 2 years. You're looking at a possible three-peat in the tri-state, in the New York area. The New York Knicks will win 3 in a row because they'll win this year, next year if they can bring LeBron in. That would be the signature stamp right there. And LeBron could walk out with 6 rings like Jordan if we're really talking about ring chasing and shit like that. And if LeBron James can get that ring count going, it would benefit the NBA. I'm on some rig shit. Since Pistol wants to talk about rig stuff, it would be cool if the NBA rigged it to where LeBron goes to New York next year. And LeBron James can go to New York, sign a 2-year deal. I think LeBron's got 3 years left in him. LeBron signs with the Knicks, signs a 2-year deal, wins the next 2 years, New York, retirement tour in Cleveland. That'll put LeBron in the NBA till what, 2030? I think this could happen. I think LeBron still feels like he has a lot to prove. He can still play. I think if you're New York, you would be smart to pitch that deal out to LeBron. It's just going to be contractual issues. Who's willing to take less money to where they can fit those players in there? Or are the Knicks willing to pay the luxury tax? That's a high luxury tax to be able to bring in LeBron. I know they're going to say, well, we don't really need LeBron. And maybe to a degree that is true. But just from just like a rig standpoint, you got LeBron in New York playing in the Omega, the Big Apple, Madison Square Garden. You got LeBron James there. It would be smart from a business decision, a brand decision, ring chasing decision, New York's three-peats decision. It would be smart to do that and bring LeBron James to New York. Imagine having Towns, LeBron, and Brunson on the court. I'm telling you. I mean, you might as well pack it up. The Knicks would win next year and the year after that if LeBron signed a 2-year deal with New York. Or does LeBron want to be a menace and go to Cleveland just to rival with New York in the Eastern Conference Finals next year? You know, for ratings, I think that would be exciting. You know, it really is, you know, this summer, I think it's going to be very interesting for basketball. Very interesting. You know, questions, where's Giannis going? Does Kyrie Irving remain in Dallas? You know, where's Kevin Durant going? I told you, I want Durant out of Houston. I'm done with him. You know, rumors Durant's going to Denver. I'd be willing to take him for what's his name? Jamal Murray. Dead ass. I would take Kevin Durant for a Jamal Murray swap. I'd be willing to do it. And I'd also be willing to trade Seguin, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepard, and Phoenix's 2029 first-round draft pick for Giannis and bring Giannis here. I'm dead ass. And if we did that, imagine having Murray, Giannis, Torrey Eason, Steven Adams, Fred VanVleet's returning next year from a torn ACL. You're going to have Amin Thompson. Bro, we would have a fucking killer fucking starting five. We wouldn't lose much. We'd be gaining everything. We got a point guard. We'd have a fucking center. We'd have Amin Thompson at the 2 guard, Fred VanVleet at the point. We can actually move Amin to the small forward and put Jamal Murray at 2 guard and then go ahead and bring in let Fred VanVleet run that point. And then we could bring Steven Adams, Torrey Eason, whichever, to audition for the power forward and Giannis at center. Bro, we would have a fucking killer starting five next year if the Rockets can, if we could pull that trade off. And I'd be willing to send Kevin Durant, ship him up to Denver. Just that way, you know, keeps Joker happy. Get Durant out of here. He's still got 2 years on his contract. Get him the hell out of Houston. Bring in Jamal Murray. Do a swap. If both teams will win out. So that way Joker doesn't want to leave Denver because he's, you know, wants a star there. You get Kevin Durant, and then you give us Jamal Murray, so we get a 2 guard, so we both win. Like I said, this NBA offseason will be very interesting. So I recommend you know, it's really not even the finals at this point that really excites me. Because we all know the Knicks are going to win. So I'm happy for New York. I'm happy for the city, for the city of New York City. I'm happy for the state of New York, right? Because other than Knicks and Nets, I don't think there's any other team. And really, the Brooklyn Nets are really New Jersey, so technically doesn't count. But the state of New York will be happy. The city, the fans, and everything, they'll be excited. So we all know they're going to win the finals. We already know this. It's already in the bag. I'm just excited about the offseason. That's what I'm mainly excited for. Is the offseason moves that are going to lead to next year. And, of course, next year I plan on going to a bunch of Rockets road games this next year. To Denver, to New Orleans, to Dallas, to OKC, to the land of the desert in Phoenix, to San Antonio. I plan on going to some Rockets road games and getting, you know, recording that, getting the Rockets fan experience in, getting people hyped up about traveling on the road and going to these road games because nothing beats going to a road game. Nothing beats it. I've been to so many home games. The feeling is great. You're around your fan base. There's nothing wrong with that. But it gets boring after a while. You get bored. You just go to so many home games. It's the burnout. It's the fact that you've done it so much. It's not exciting anymore. So you really want to get the excitement. Going to the road, experiencing what it's like to have your team travel on the road. And I think that that's the exciting part. And, you know, the Knicks fans, I noticed they're invading stadiums. I remember we did that to San Antonio Spurs when we played them in the NBA playoffs. Was it 2018 season? And they knocked us out in 6. I remember I took the bus up there. And I was excited. You know, Rockets fans invaded that fucking stadium. And we lost both games in San Antonio, but we won both games at home. So I remember back then, we invaded their stadium, but it was fun. You know, we weren't really trying to fist fight with them. It was just fun, just trash talking. You know? Texas baseball versus Oregon. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not really a college baseball. Now, if you want to fuck with me on college football, we can talk about that. I love college football. We can go, and I plan on going to the Texas-Ohio State game in week 2. I'm excited about that one. It's going to be in our house. So I plan on going to that game. That's going to be September 12th, I want to say. I could be wrong. That's going to be week 2. The only games I really care about on the Texas Longhorns schedule is OU, the Bastards from Norman, and of course, Ohio State. I want my fucking rematch. Hey, what's going on, bro? No, I'm in basketball, football, baseball, college football, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA basketball. College baseball is not really my forte. I like college basketball when it comes to men's basketball and women's basketball, but baseball is not really a thing of mine other than Major League Baseball, and I'm really not too excited about Major League Baseball till about around August. I mean, I guess you call me a fair weather fan. I'm a Texas Rangers fan. Fair weather as fuck. Wait, got my 2023 World Series. Excited about that. That's cool. That makes up for 2011, 2010. We should have won. Excited about that experience, and we got 1 dub, so I'm cool with that. But and we got a good chance to win our division this year, pending if Seattle Mariners can actually fucking start losing, because we need to. They banked on they've won 10 out of their last 11 games, so they've actually been controlling the division right now. That's my main scare, is the Mariners are going to start, building up a bunch of wins, and then we're just going to get behind. So we need to start winning some games. But other than that, baseball for me doesn't start till August, mid-August, pennant chases, playoffs, stuff like that. Only wants something casual. She wants something serious. Eee. So you're not into her like that. I must be thinking. Good thing you don't like the cheating Astros. Thank you. You're not excited. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Knicks are better overall team than the Spurs. Deeper bench, and the Stars are more experienced. That's what I say. Here's a scary thing. Is LeBron going to New York next year? That's what everybody's talking about right now. Is LeBron going to New York? I think it makes sense for the NBA brand to do that. Even if you want to call it rigged, I'd be willing to be okay with that, with it being rigged in this case, because New York is a spotlight. That's where the spotlight goes on you as a coach, as a player, as a fan. And that's not the same here in Houston, where you lose and that's not a big deal. Like, you lose in New York, you hear about it all in the fucking news. So I think if you're LeBron, it would be smart to expand your brand, expand your shoe deal brand with Nike. It would just be, the question would be, is LeBron willing to take less? From a business standpoint, I would tell him, take less on your contract, take more, and get more back on your shoe deals, endorsements with New York logo on it, like you did with LA. Plus, you can get a ring or 2 from there. They already got the players lined up. It would make sense from a business standpoint to go there. Worth every damn pick. Yeah. How do you tell a girl that's into me that only wants something casual when she wants something serious? Yeah. Isn't that the old saying goes, we all want what we can't have? Usually it's always the guys that we all want what we can't have. No, the girls. And the guys just want everything they can have. In this case, it's not always the case. I don't know, man. Maybe you should take her out on a date, see where it goes. Worst case scenario is it doesn't work out. You can still be friends. But be careful, because sometimes in life, they're hard to come by. And then you might end up dating a whole bunch of people after that may not be worth a damn, and then somebody's into you, and then you end up not into them, and then turns out they might actually be the one. Sometimes God has a mysterious way of putting people in your life when you least expect it. And it's going to be like one of those things where you kind of regret later in life when you see a person you passed up on that was really probably potentially good, and then you end up seeing them married to somebody, loyal, with kids, building a family, and you're kind of still stuck there chasing some girl that probably doesn't notice you. I'm just saying I've seen it both ways. Women do the same bullshit. In fact, women do it a lot more than we do. But it's no excuse either way. And if you're not into her, that's fine. You don't have to date her. I would just say go on a couple dates, just I guess to see where it goes. The worst case scenario would be, hey, let's just remain friends. You know? But that's just my opinion. He said, fuck those picks. Bridges worth every damn pick. Mm-hmm. Bro, I can't wait for World Cup. I don't know if you guys are excited for that, but World Cup's only once every 4 years. I'm excited to see where USA is going to go, even though I don't think they're going to go far. I think that they'll go to the first round like always and lose in the first round. It's kind of where it always happens. We get to the first round of the playoffs or the knockout stage, excuse my language, and then we lose. But yeah, I'll be watching Major League Baseball. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I watch the highlights. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not a hypocrite and that I don't watch a little bit of baseball right now. I do. Major League Baseball, that is. But I don't really watch it like I guess I don't really watch it around this time. I just keep an eye on the standings, the scores, player movements, stuff like that. Like, I know we're playing the Guardians right now. It's like mid-second. Things tied at 0-0 or whatever. And we're 31 and 32. So that's not too bad. But like I said, we still got baseball takes fucking forever. We got 99 games to go. After tonight, it'll be 98. And we'll just see what happens. Look, Mariners won again, 4-0. So now they got a winning record. So we're not too far, like 3 games back from the Mariners. So we still got a chance to take our division. Like I said, it's going to be a long road. Astros kick the living shit out of the Athletics. I like that. That'll keep us in front of our division. Continue to keep winning. That's all I got to say. Oakland, I had them actually winning our division this year. And this is right around the year where they kind of melted, and then they'll make an end and run, and then that'll be the ending of that. Who do I think's going to the World Series? I will tell you, and I've said this at the beginning of the year, Dodgers are going to win again. They're going to win again. And they will be playing most likely the New York Yankees. I mean, that's where I see it's going now. Tampa Bay is an exciting team to watch, but Cleveland, Seattle, but I think when it comes down to playoffs, I think the Yankees will make the World Series. They're going to play the Dodgers, going to be a rematch, but I think Dodgers win again. Dodgers are just fully loaded from top to bottom. They made a great offseason acquisitions. They have the highest payroll in the league, and they're 41 and 23. They're dominating their division, the NL West, sorry. Now the Atlanta Braves are 44 and 21. So I'm not saying that the Braves won't give them a run for their money, but the Braves are known for choking in the playoffs. That's always what they do. And I think that's going to be the same story there. I think the Atlanta Braves, they'll face the Dodgers in the NLCS. I think the Dodgers end up taking that in 6 or 7. Dodgers play the Yankees. I think the Yankees will beat Tampa Bay in the ALCS. You're looking at Yankees, Dodgers winning 6. Dodgers will be a 3-peat champion. So, Pistol, if you're watching, at least you can celebrate your Dodgers winning 3 in a row. The Mets have one of the worst highest payrolls of players. That's awful. Yeah, they do. Good chance of having a pitch clock, and the AVS system is great. The whole CB thing with the lockout and cap changes is hard to get a deal done. Yeah. The only problem is with baseball, and I guess some people like it, but I don't, is I just think the season's too long. The old boomers like that shit. They like it like, no, God damn it, you play. And it's like 162 games. It's just, to me, takes forever. Baseball is just constant marathon of matchups. You play your division teams like 20 times, it seems like, in a never endless game that goes fucking 5 hours with 1 or 2 hits in a 1-0 game. Now, if you're a true baseball head, you like that. That's cool. You can make the same argument for soccer. But even soccer has a limited season. For baseball, it just seems like it just goes on forever and ever. And it's so hard to want to watch baseball every single day. Instead, if you're just either playing the DraftKings, or you're gambling on some website or something, or maybe you're just going to a particular game. But it's like the only people excited about this longevity of games are boomers. They love the 162 game schedule. I think baseball could do the same thing in less games. I think that a 130 game season is sufficient. Now, would the owners want to take less money? Probably not. They want to maximize on the capitalism, but I think 162 games is just too much to watch, and it's just the schedule it starts March 25th. It goes into April, May, June, July. July it picks up a little bit, All-Star Weekend, stuff like that, the Home Run Derby, the All-Star Game. And really, to me, I think baseball starts about mid-July. I think right after the All-Star Game is when it really starts. You're getting into the backhand of that season. You're going to the 95, 100 game mark. And right there is where that threshold begins. And then that's where they'll say, oh, okay, well, who's going to win the pennant? Who's going to win the AL East? Who's going to the AL Central or the AL West or whatever? And teams are fighting for the pennant. They're fighting for a division, and they're fighting to lock in a wild card spot. And I think from there, that's where baseball gets a little bit more exciting. It picks that rhythm up starting in mid-July. And then really, of course, August and September are really just all about baseball because, the preseason of the NFL is coming up. The NFL season starts in September for a second week of September, first week. College football starting. So it really amps you up to watch baseball a little bit. The playoff starts in the red hunt of October. So now you're looking at baseball playoffs in October. So, for me, baseball doesn't start till August. That's really where I start just hammering down, watching all the games. Maybe not so a whole 5-hour game, but, just cherry pick a couple of highlights here or there. But like I said, right now all the teams are just fighting to put together, wins and shit. It's all about getting as many wins as you can and then try to fight for the pennant. Pennant chases shit, division titles. Number 1 seed, number 2 seed, whatever. Locks up the bye in the first round. So, other than that, right now, you're just coasting in baseball. With baseball, I think their season is just way too fucking long. It's kind of like, even with basketball, I think basketball's too long. 82 games, is exciting, but I think you can get the same excitement in a 66-game season than you would in an 82 games. It'd be the same thing. To me, I think the NBA should consider and shorten up their season, but of course, greedy owners don't want to take less money. That means players take less money, and nobody wants to do that. So they just do load management, sitting players out. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Okay. Right? So you sit out and you're like, oh, my leg hurts, and you're out for a game or whatever. So you do the load management, and you coast by an 82-game season just to see what happens at the end. I don't mind about load management to a degree, but it does affect ticket prices. So you're selling tickets at a high cost, and then your favorite player doesn't play because he's making up an injury, most likely that didn't happen. And then you end up stuck going to a game where you paid $300 for to see your favorite player, only to hear that they sat out. And that's not fair either to the fan that has to go to those games because LeBron James has a supposed injury that probably doesn't exist, or other NBA players that do the same bullshit, and they say they get hurt when they really didn't get hurt, and then fans kind of get stiffed out because they paid higher costs for a ticket when they know that these players are not playing. And it lowers the value of the ticket, but they still have to surrender to that price at the time. And that's not fair for fans. But that's just my opinion. On top of that, you got spring training. Honestly, I prefer the WBC more than All-Star Game. Yeah. WBC, that's what? World Baseball Classic? Yeah, I like the World Baseball Classic. Don't get me wrong. Venezuela, I think they just beat the United States. And, I watched a little bit of it. I'm not going to lie. I watched a little bit of the highlights of that. I can never get into the soccer league here in the United States. It's terrible. The way they run it sucks. It's boring. They offer to watch it for free on Apple. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to watch that crap. Houston Dynamo got a ring in 2005. I can give two shits less about. In fact, I care more about our AAA hockey team that left the Houston Aeros than I do about our current soccer team. It goes to show you I'm not a fan of American soccer because I think the way they have it structured makes no sense. The way they do their playoffs makes no fucking sense either. It's crap, And it's just I don't like the way that that soccer, Major League Soccer here, they have their system. It makes no sense. I don't like it. But the World Cup, to me, it's more structured. The only thing that I don't like about the World Cup, I don't like tie games. Now, it makes sense from like a world perspective because they're like you get a draw, you get points, and then it comes down to points. So there's a strategy. If you're playing your last cup match, you can get a draw and still win and still make the playoffs, which I guess it's okay. But to me, I like to play till there's a winner. You know, it makes no sense to play for an hour and a half when there's no conclusion to it, only to hear that no one can win. Like like if you look, the only two sports that does that is soccer and football. And even in college football, they play till there's no ties in college football. Notice that. The NFL still keeps ties because it doesn't happen often, but I think NFL should get rid of ties. Just somehow they should play till there's a winner. Field goal competition. You got field goal kickers out there that can do 50-yard field goals, kick till somebody misses or something, sudden death. Something. Figure that out and get that shit together. Heading to Oklahoma Monday for a work trip. That's what's up, man. Enjoy it. World Cup is amazing. Yeah, World Cup's fucking badass. I love it. I'm pumped for college football. I heard they're expanding the playoffs. I heard. The rumor is 16 teams will make the college playoff for college football, and I'm excited. My Longhorns came short. I think we were 14 or 13 last year. Vanderbilt should have got in. There's some other teams. Notre Dame should have got in. To me, I think expansion for college football makes sense. It's just how many teams you want. I think 16 to me would be, if they said, look, we're not letting in no more than 16, I'd be fine with that. But if you really want the fan in me, I would say if you get a rank 1 through 25, you should get in. Everything outside of that, no. But if you get a number rank, because they do that AP poll every year, the BCS poll or whatever, the college AP poll, and then they do the college playoff poll starting week 11 or 10 or something like that, or 8 or something like that, they should do the top 25 get in, with 7 get in the first round bye. And I'm all for that. It's like a 32-man format, but with 25 teams. The top 7 get a first round bye. I don't have a problem with that. I think it would be great for football. Every division winner gets in. Your conference, you win your conference, you get in, and then do at-large bids. And I'm all for it. I think that, there's college football realizes there's so much money on the table to not do that. Let's see. I'm excited that North America is hosting the World Cup. Yeah. And it's going to be in New York City for the Final Four. Notre Dame has less competitive advantage by not playing in a conference title game. It makes a shitty schedule having to get the top 5. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why when Notre Dame didn't make the playoffs this year, I think now it starts adding to the argument that does Notre Dame should join a conference? To me, if you ask me personally, Notre Dame benefits from either joining the ACC or the Big 12. I think, to me personally, it would make more sense to do that. I know Notre Dame owns the rights to NBC. They got a big TV contract deal with them. But I think if you're college football, you tell them, listen, you either join a conference, or we're just going to ban you. It's as simple as that. Or we're just going to schedule you to start playing harder teams. So there's a decision that has to be made here for Notre Dame. You either join a fucking conference, or we're going to make your fucking schedule. And we're going to schedule you against all top-ranked teams every year until you join a conference. I think it makes sense. And I don't like I don't like that. I think Notre Dame should join a conference. They kind of affiliated with the ACC, but they're technically not a part of them. They got contracts with them in other sports, just not football. I think Notre Dame should be put in the spotlight and say, hey, look, you didn't make the playoffs last year, and you screwed the other team the year before that. I think you screwed Miami the year before that. So you kind of got a little taste of your own medicine. You need to join a conference and make a decision and join a conference. It makes sense to do so. What's going on, Caitlin? I got a 4-day vacation, so I'm just enjoying my off time for now. Notre Dame should join the ACC or Big Ten. It's bullshit they got an advantage. I agree. Notre Dame has other sports in ACC No footing doesn't work that way. I agree. They should join a conference. Has a competitive advantage by not playing. I agree. You got my vote. I raised my hand to everything you just said. They should join a fucking conference. And the fact that they're not in a conference, I think is crap. I think it's crap they're not in a conference. And I think they should join. But like I said, my goal this year is to travel to road games. I want to have the Texas Longhorn experience. I want to start traveling to Longhorns games, going to Austin, because that's like a 2-hour drive from where I'm at right now, 2.5 hours. I want to go to the Ohio State game, week 2, and get that fan experience. I'm going to record it for you guys. Well, not the game, but just like the parties and the tailgating parties and shit, and really start getting involved more in the road experience. I plan on going to Rockets and San Antonio games in Dallas, Oklahoma City, Denver, New Orleans, and Phoenix are on my bucket list for this year. Would I ever travel to a Texans road game? If I was, it would probably be a road game. I always want to go to our rivals, division rivals in Tennessee, Nashville, at Jacksonville, at Indianapolis, and get that road experience, because I never had an opportunity to go to any of those stadiums, and I think it would be great for me to get that fan experience there. You're going to the Jag games in Baltimore for Thursday night, man. Have fun. Thoughts on the Greg's thinking not wanting to merge with the Big Ten and the SEC not coming together, on thoughts on that? Oh, shit. I didn't know anything about that. Holy shit. Notre Dame should join the Big Ten because I feel like the Big Ten and SEC makes the most money. Yeah, that's probably what it is. If you ask me personally, I think the Longhorns should have stayed in the Big 12. And I think it would have made more sense. Even if Oklahoma would have left, I would have stayed in the Big 12 and recruited Notre Dame. That's just what I would have done. I would have went that route and said, hey, look, we'll have a contract to play OU every year. You don't want to get rid of that rivalry game, but you're going to a new conference. We want to stay here. Bring in Notre Dame, and let's go ahead and get this shit popping. And let's go there. Sorry, I got my cat here, man. He's throwing a big temper tantrum because he wants to lay on me, but I'm trying to get him lay on this damn chair here. Lay down. God, he's such a fucking spoiled brat. He don't get his way. He makes a mean face, and he gets real ugly. He just gets real ugly. I don't know why he's like this. He needs to stop his shit today. It's always like this. Stop it. Lay down. Lay down. Imagine having to take care of a 15-year-old cat that acts like a 3-year-old toddler for 15 years. It makes no damn sense. It just makes no sense. Now lay down. How do you feel about us battling? Yeah, I love it. We're going to London this year to take you guys on. I really feel like you guys are going to move to London. I'll be traveling to Philly for a game. I'll be in Nashville for the Eagles. That's what's up, man. We play Buffalo week 1 here in our house. And guess who else we play after that? Cincinnati. So our first 2 games are going to be at home. Am I going to go to a game? No. But I'll be at the bar watching. I go to Bogies or Buffalo Wild Wings somewhere to just go watch the games. I don't really need to. I've been to so many Texans games. It's just all the same to me. I've been to so many of them. It's just, for me, I get bored going to football games. Unless if it's college football or a road game. But going to a home NFL game in Texans, NRG, been to so many. I'm burned out of that shit. My only experience now is going to Rockets road games, going to a couple Longhorns games this year, and maybe if I can pencil in a Texans road game, if I possibly can get that done. Remember, we blew the games against Davis Mills. I was so pissed that day. I'm shocked that Davis Mills. Oh, I've yelled at 2 dogs as well. Yeah, I know, man. The little pause here, he's just. Look at him. He gets angry when you try to tell him what to do. He don't like that shit. I mean, imagine taking care of a 3-year-old cat for 15 years. He throws a temper tantrum when you don't if you don't give in to him. He's just always like that. I don't know why. He's just always an asshole. I love the Eagles. I miss AJ. Oh, yeah, AJ went to New England. I heard about that. But I understand the fallout the coach had with AJ. I understand the trade, but I wish AJ Brown the best. Garrett to the Rams is going to be a beast. I heard, what's his name, coming out of retirement for the Rams. Is that true? Yeah, I heard he's coming out. Now imagine him and Garrett Miles on both ends, defensive ends, pass rushing the quarterback. Imagine how crazy that is. Yeah, Donald's coming out of retirement, I heard. That's what I heard. I heard that he liked the Miles trade and that they might encourage him to come back. Well, you got 2 edge rushers. That could be dangerous. Rams might win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know if I'd necessarily go that route. Who won last year? God damn it, my memory. Seattle. Seattle was playing New England to start the season, and I guess New England made the big splash with A.J. Brown because they figured, well, that's going to, change the game against Seattle and, kind of ramp it up. I don't really think that's going to happen. I think Seattle's going to blow them out again. I just think they create matchup problems against the Patriots. I think the Seahawks win, and they win big. I think they win big. I think you're going to see a little bit of what you saw in the Super Bowl. I think Seattle's going to wipe the floor with New England. Well, like I said, it's the good thing about the NFL season is every team starts at 0-0. 0-0. But yeah, I'm excited for college football too. I hope that they expand the college playoffs this year to at least 16. I think that's reasonable. That's a reasonable margin of teams. But if we can eventually talk 24 like the Big Ten wants to do it, I'm all for it. Big, 24 teams in the college playoffs, I think, to me, is a good idea. Hey, Caitlin, what you tell me about them New York Knicks in Jersey? Are they all celebrating up there? What's going on? Seeing that you're a Jersey girl. Look at Paws. I got him on the big boy chair. He's on the big boy chair. Like I said, he's got the brain of a 3-year-old child. Still to this day, just won't behave. You think Indiana will not make the playoffs and win it? Will make the playoffs and win it? I don't think they'll repeat because what's his name's gone. Fernando is going to go to the Raiders. I may go to New York tomorrow. Well, Caitlin, have fun. Them Knicks fans are fucking crazy up there, bro. They're fucking crazy. But I like it. I like the fact that the Knicks are now kind of the villain of the league. I love it. Indiana takes a step back. Yeah, I think so too. I think Indiana was it was a 1-year deal. Fernando was good. Don't get me wrong. But Mendoza, I wish you the best in the NFL with the Raiders. But nonetheless, I don't think Indiana is going to repeat what they did last year. No. Oh, yeah, it's crazy in New York right now. Like I said, I was watching videos on it, shorts and all that shit, man. It's getting pretty hectic. And Cleveland goes to score a point. How nice. Watching my Rangers and Guardians. Give shout-outs to Moohead. Thoughts on Saban and the NIL bill. Wait a minute. So is Coach Saban coming back? And what about the NIL bill? If you can go a little bit into that. I don't know everything going on in college football. Help me out here. All I know is SEC's pushing. Yeah, I'm watching the Rangers now on my YouTube. Just a score overlay. Right now we're down to Cleveland 1-0. And we still got 5th inning. We still got a chance to win. Try to win this game to get the 500, damn it. Congress proposed changes to the NIL. Okay, so I'm curious to know what the changes are exactly. What kind of changes to the NIL deal? So players are making more money? Are they making less? Are they trying to eliminate the ability for college players to make money? I mean, I'm all for college players making money. I said, fuck it. If colleges can make money off of your likeness and brand name and all that, the players should be able to make money too. Fuck it. Why go broke? The thing is a lot of those players don't even get drafted anyway. Most of them don't. Oh, yeah, this is my Longhorns jersey. Jamal Charles, who is now no longer in the league. Let me see if y'all can see his name. God damn it. I got Jamal Charles, running back for the Texas Longhorns. Had a great career in Kansas City. Didn't win a ring with the Chiefs, but he had an okay career. Yeah, I got me a Jamal Charles Texas Longhorns jersey. I got an Earl Campbell sitting in there too. I need to get next to Ricky Williams. Now give me a Ricky Williams jersey. If you had to pick one sport, what would you pick? That's a very interesting question. And after thinking about everything, there's only really two sports that really kind of stand out for me. NBA basketball and college football. And no disrespect to the NFL. I love the NFL. They got a great structure, great format. But because the NFL is so short and the NBA is a lot much longer, it's a little bit more of an attachment thing. I can easily get more attached to basketball than a small fraction of football. Now, college football is exciting. It has the innocence element to it. And I kind of like the tailgating parties from college football. I like the game day, Saturday game day and all that. The fact there's football on Saturdays, I fucking love it. I like football better on Saturday than I do on Sunday. And I've just always been I've always been more of a college football fan. I said, if we had a college playoffs, an actual real one, and I was saying this for decades, we would actually be it would be more watchable than the NFL. And now since they're doing that, I really, it just amps it up for me. I just really wish they would have, really tell you the truth, I wish they would have done this 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. They should have had a college playoff. Imagine all the players that have gone through the doors over all the years that never had that opportunity and had to play in some crappy BCS bowl game. Or, a bowl game that doesn't really fucking matter that nobody talks about fucking years from now. Like, for example, when Longhorns won the Sugar Bowl game against Georgia, was it 2019? No one cares. Like, I don't care about that game. Why? Because it didn't mean anything to win it. It means nothing. If it's not a playoff game and we're not winning to move on, what's the fucking purpose of playing a fucking crappy fucking bowl game? It means nothing. Like, no, Georgia Bulldogs don't even talk about that game because it means nothing. But you know what we do talk about? The regular season matchup. The 2 season wins they had over us mean a lot more than us beating them in the Sugar Bowl because it means nothing. It's an glorified exhibition game that nobody will talk about the following week. It's crap. And I think from this point, the college football is starting to realize that their bowl games don't mean fucking jack shit. All the December games, starting on the 12th, all the way to Christmas mean nothing. And they're realizing this now. There's just too much money to lose. And there's more money to be gained if these bowl games were actually meant something. Semifinal sites. Well, how do you get semifinals? Expansion of the college playoffs. That makes sense. So starting on Christmas Day, all the games should mean something at that point. And how do they mean it? Make it a college playoff semifinal site. Well, we don't have that many college playoff teams in. Then expand it. There's too much money on the table for you not to do this. It just doesn't make sense to me. So you have 43 bowl games, and only 11 of them matter. And that's currently now. If you expand it to 16, 15 matter out of the 43. So that means you're going to have 28 that still don't matter. So eventually, 25 playoff games with 24 meaning something. Now you're talking about 24 out of the 43 means something. That's a vast majority of them. That means 19 of them won't matter. And you can schedule all those games before Christmas and then have your Christmas Day all the way to the end of the year till the following championship game, all semifinal matchups. It makes more sense to do that. To me, it makes more sense. But that's just my opinion. Just to think, years before, it was a stupid fucking BCS game, and that was the only fucking game that was rigged, and they had it rigged to where only 8 schools really had a chance to win, and the other 120-something schools didn't really matter. And it's just that was going on for decades. And now they finally, put a system in place to where at least gives you somewhat of an opportunity. I'm not saying it's the perfect system, but it's better with college expansion. Mentions agents as well as players can't have unofficial agents to get money from the NIL collectives. Ooh, I like that. Here's my trash can. My bad. I have a little trash can right here. I like that. Sorry, Caitlin. You know how I get all excited. The name part of the bill after Lane Kiffin's coaches can't leave during the session and playoffs. You know, I don't like the idea that that coaches can leave after a season and they get a new contract and they can leave their team high and dry. I felt bad for Ole Miss, and they shouldn't do that. The bill also mentions agents as players can't have unofficial to get money. Yeah. It's called the College Sports Act. You put in place NIL contract and contract standards, transfer limits, media rights, revenue. I like that. Sort of put a cap on it. You have a Saquon Barkley Penn State jersey. That's fucking badass. I think Deion Sanders should go broadcast. He's not a good coach. Well, I think Deion Sanders maybe should go to an NFL team and coach. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm off the next 4 days, so I'm going to be streaming. I'll probably stream tonight a little bit. I'll probably stream tonight, maybe stream tomorrow, but I'm off the next 4 days. I'm excited, bro. I got, just excited to watch the season. Hold on real quick. I'm put it on mute. 1 second. My bad. All right, guys. So I got about 15 minutes left on here. And I'm going to Lone Star Saloon tonight. It's going to be, if you're in the country western theme sort of feel, good music, stuff like that. They had an 80s night there a couple of months ago, the last time I was there, and it was like all 80s music they were playing. Aerosmith, AC/DC, and a bunch of other 80s bands music that were there. Foreigner, they're playing a whole Metallica. They played a whole bunch of cool stuff, and it was like nothing but 80s music. They had like a tribute band, and they play like the, kind of one size fits all band where they can play multiple songs on their instruments. It was cool. I had a good time, and it was packed. Like 150 people showed up. It was packed. Good food. Just get a chance to get out and somewhat not think about the struggles of life. Well, Caitlin, you have fun in New York. I don't know what your plans are when you get there, but I hope you have a wonderful time. And, give me a shot glass that's got like New York City on it, a shot glass, and I'll give that to my dad, and I'll sell you the money. I'm not tripping, but yeah, just do that. Give me a shot glass from New York. I'll really like that. It's like $4. I'll sell you like $40 for your troubles, and then you just mail it to me, and then I'll give it to my dad because my dad's a big New York Knicks fan. Thoughts on the Stanley Cup? Well, it's going to be it's Carolina Hurricanes are taking on the Vegas Knights. Both of these teams are very good, and they dominated every team in their conference. I like the Vegas Knights to win. I think it's going to go 7. Now, could Carolina Hurricanes come back and win? Absolutely. I think they just did in game 2. If I'm correct, isn't the series tied at 1 apiece for baseball? For hockey. Sorry. I just been keeping an eye on it mildly during the playoffs. But I'm rooting for the Vegas Knights, the Golden Knights, to win. Okay. Well, make sure, Caitlin, you mail me or make sure you send me, because I want to get my dad a shot glass from New York because he's a big Knicks fan, and just want to show my dad some love. Say, hey, look what my friend got you, and of course I sold her the money, so I didn't rip her off. But here you go, a New York Knicks shot glass to hang on your wall. That way he has something to be a little excited about. He had his Allen Houston jersey on the other day. He was watching the Knicks game. He said, man, son, we haven't won since 73. This is the greatest feeling I've had in my entire life. I hope the New York Knicks fucking win. God damn it. We've been waiting forever. Let's think about it. Thoughts on Mitch and Towns shutting down Wembanyama? Yeah. They have been shutting down Wembanyama. Yeah. The alien, the freak is what they call him. The alien. Yeah, like I said, the only thing I don't like is, my experiences in going to games and stuff like that. Is just the fighting. You got some individuals out there that are all about fighting, and they'll go to the games with those intentions. It's my dad's from New York. That's why. The thing is that it's one thing when you go to the game and you trash talk, and sometimes you get a little out of hand and you've been drinking. That's one thing, but it's another thing when you're going up there with the intentions to fight. And there's a lot of these people that are like this. They'll go up there and they want to just hit the first person they see or whatever. And then you mix up alcohol with that, and then it just transpires. And a lot of these people, especially even the underage ones, they'll drink before they go to the game and get fucked up. And then they'll go to the game already looking for a fight. And, there's always that whole saying that goes, drink responsibly. But unfortunately, most people cannot handle their alcohol. I've seen people get knocked out at the Rockets games. Oh, yeah. I remember one time, there was this one guy, he was talking shit to a shorter guy. He was real tall. I'll never forget. And they were both drunk off their ass. It was an older guy and a younger guy. And the guy I think that was taller was like, he was the older guy, and he was talking shit, and he's like, going like this to the younger dude. The dude was real short. He's like 5'8". The guy was tall. He was like 6 foot fucking 3, 4 maybe. They were talking shit to each other. And the tall guy, I'll whoop your fucking ass. And he just went like headbutted him. And I was sitting like literally 5 seats away. I'm watching the whole thing. And that short dude walked up and went bam. I'm talking about fucking knocked him fucking cold out. Like right in the fucking noggin, right there in the nose area. Bam! And I just seen this tall motherfucker just fucking fly back. Fucking feet up in the air and just was sprung out. Just stretched the fuck out. I was like, God damn. And then the girlfriend, I guess, saw it. And then she ran and was like screaming for security to go. And like, well, look at this. My husband's bleeding, or my boyfriend's bleeding, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, to be fair, your boyfriend did started it, though. But, of course, they won't mention that part. But the boyfriend started it. And now you want the cops involved. And it's like, but your husband, or boyfriend, I'm sorry, was the one initiating. He was the aggressor. So he did deserve to get stretched out. But people go there looking for a fight, and then they get stretched out, and then wonder, fuck around and find out, and then they're getting stretched out, and it's like, you're going to the game fighting, it's like, that shit's stupid as hell. And then people are pulling out their phones recording you, and you're sitting there stretched out. I don't know, to me, it just doesn't it's not for good recipe. 2 fans got lifetime bans for taking photos with Wemby and Robinson storming the court during the game. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, if you fight at the game, they'll ban you for like a year or 2. And then if you keep doing it, they'll just ban you for life. Like the rest of your life. Now, if somebody buys tickets, you can sneak into the game, but you better hope no one recognizes you. You better hope no one recognizes you. You better, like, lose weight, shave your head, something. Or maybe wear a full costume, a face mask, maybe painted face. You just got to hope the wrong people don't see you. Especially with facial recognitions and shit. You can sneak in the stadium, just don't get caught. But yeah, you can get a lifetime ban. Oh, they could ban you for a year or 2. Yeah, man, people be fighting at the games. I've seen people knock the fuck out. I've been to a lot of Rockets and Texans games. I've seen people stretched out. I've seen people boxing and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. I don't really see the point in that. You know what I'm saying? It's pointless. Other than that, if you want to go for the fan experience, it's to see your team on the road, to me is the better experience. When you go to so many home games, it's not the same as it is going on the road. To me, the road is funner because you got to travel, you got to get hotel reservations, you got to have some money, you got to take off from work or whatever, and make sure that you have your ducks lined up. And so when the experience when you travel, it's a lot better than just being at home and going to the same place all the time. It's boring. So like I said, I've been to San Antonio, I've been to Dallas, I've been to games in New Orleans. To me, the travel experience is a lot funner. Oh, they scored 2 runs against Oregon. Nice. Like I said, it's fun to travel. Like, just in general, it's fun to travel. I've been to California. I've been to Florida. I've been to Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana. I've been to New Mexico. I've been to Arizona. I've been to Cali. I was in Southern California. I've been to Nevada. I went gambling in Vegas. It's fun, man. It's fun to travel. It's just, if you're going to travel, you want to get an itinerary together. Things to do in those areas, like what I did, so you have your ducks lined up, and then that way you know where you're going when you get there. And then budget cost. How much am I bringing? What am I spending my money on? What's my miscellaneous look like? What's my travel cost? What's my cost for hotels? How much is all that? Do I have a buddy that lives in this area that's willing to chaperone me, bring him in and kick back him a couple hundred, and then saves me on the back end so I can have a little extra miscellaneous money? So you got to start connecting the dots before you travel, because if you do that, you travel somewhere and you have no itinerary, no budget cost, you're going to be cooked. You're going to be cooked. Now, I'm just saying, so you want to line up your ducks. 17 charged after Game 2 celebrations. I mean, that's what happens, man. I'll put on the news clip here. Let's see what they did. Officer assaulted.
Too excited, including at least one person seen climbing a light pole. Authorities say one individual actually struck a police officer in the face after jumping over a barrier and
Waking up happy and confident this morning. We were tired about yes, very tired. We were talking about ticket prices for Game 3. So one ticket is like at least $10,000. So,
10,000
has been sweeping the tri-state, and fans once again celebrating outside the Garden last night.
These games so far have only taken place in Texas. Just a reminder, come Monday, the series shifts back home here in the city ahead of Game 3. Crystal Cranmore is live at the Garden in Midtown. Good morning again, Crystal. Hi.
Good morning, Michelle and Perry. Well, it got pretty chaotic last night. Authorities saying it ended up with one officer getting punched in the face. Fortunately, that officer is okay, but that's exactly the type of excitement, the type of behavior police say they do not want to see as we welcome the Knicks back home for Game 3. Now, fans celebrated last night after a thrilling Game 2 against the Spurs. Watch parties lit up the city, including this one outside Madison Square Garden, where we found roughly 6,000 people, some sporting their blue and orange. The game took Knicks fans through every emotion. The end result, they say, was worth it.
I felt great. I felt amazing.
We got Brunson. That's all we need to clutch. You gonna bring it home. We good.
Feeling great. I think the Knicks are going to pull it out, and we're going to win it in 4. Knicks in 4.
Yes. Ring be here soon. Yes. Yes, Brunson. Ring be here soon.
A Citizen app video shows police trying to disperse large crowds after the game. Folks who got a little too excited, including at least one person seen climbing a light pole. Authorities say one individual actually struck a police officer in the face after jumping over a barrier and refusing to leave, causing that officer to sustain lacerations to the face and needing medical treatment. Multiple individuals, according to authorities, were arrested for selling counterfeit merchandise, with one of the individuals being arrested for possession of a loaded firearm. We're also learning that 17 people in all were arrested and charged, and 9 are being released with criminal court summonses for disorderly conduct. But again, authorities are saying that the bottom line is, do not be the person that spoils all the fun as we welcome the Knicks back home come Monday.
Yeah, don't fucking spoil it for everybody else. I agree. You're always going to have those like small portion of people that go for that shit. I just talked about that earlier, fighting and stuff like that. To me, I just think that that's pointless. But a lot of the times it's mostly alcohol related. They're probably fucked up going to the game. And then what it is they come there intoxicated. They'll buy a beer to keep it going, because the alcohol tends to wear down after an hour or two. So you got to keep that high going. So what do you got to buy? A beer or two, right? To keep the constant flow. And now they also sell liquor and stuff in the stadiums too, so you can just buy one and keep it going. So see, they limit you to a couple of drinks. But the problem is, if you've already been drinking before you got there, they don't know what you've been drinking. So you drink another and another, you're already fucked up. And some people can hide their alcoholism, and you never know they're fucked up. That's why if you're a bartender and stuff, it's extremely hard to monitor that shit. Is you don't know exactly how much people are drinking before, during, and after. Well, you can drink, just drink responsibly. Like I said, I'm not a drinker. I'm the guy you'll see at the food bar. Yeah, I'm looking for the tenders, the French fries, the hamburgers. That's me. There's other people there that go for the alcohol. Um, so whether you're an alcoholic or you're a foodaholic, you're going there for something. Like to me, I'm going for the food. Most people there are going for the alcohol. They want to get drunk. They want to get wasted. They've already been drinking before they got there. And so they need something to keep the high going. They want to drink more. Drink, drink, drink. Most people cannot handle their alcohol. I agree. Then you see people fighting and all types of shit. But me, I don't really drink. Like I could have a beer once a month and be fine. I could have a beer once a year and be all right. But I'm not a drinker. That's never really been my issue. Alcohol's never been an issue for me because I just don't drink. So it's not an issue for me. Yeah, but just if you're going to drink, drink responsibly. Now, me, if I was to, let's say if it was an occasion where I could drink a Blue Moon with an orange on top, a Bud Light, classic Bud Light, or if I was to drink a little something harder, you can start me off with a Fireball. I like that cinnamon burn on the esophagus a little bit going down, and that's that Russian whiskey. And then give me a Vegas bomb. I love Vegas bombs. I'm not really on the heavy side of tequila. Not a tequila fan. To me, it's the aftertaste and the way it makes it feel. Not a vodka, really of a vodka guy. I mean, I like Russian vodka. Don't get me wrong. Vodka is Russian, but I like the mixed drinks more so, than I do the hardcore heavy liquor. Does that make sense? But I can have some heavy liquor. But like the Fireballs, I like Fireballs. I like the Vegas bombs, Jaeger bombs. I fucks with the Long Island iced teas. They got 8 different alcohols in it, or 7 or 6, whatever it is. Gin tonic, a little bit of vodka, rum, and they mix that shit up together. And it tastes like iced tea. I like it. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to cut off your alcohol, Caitlin, since we know you're a heavy drinker. We're going to have to cut that off. Definitely. We're going to have to cut that off. We're definitely going to have to watch your alcohol because you like to drink, I heard. So, because of that, we're going to have to cut your alcohol off. We're going to have to limit that shit. Yeah. Let me see. Well, I mean, I heard you like to drink a lot. So here goes the fights that I've seen so far. Watch this shit. Not the ad, but...
We the people.
Oh, shit! That's fan-on-fan violence. Why are Knicks fans fighting each other, man? Come on, man. Most likely they're drunk. That alcohol starts kicking in. Once that alcohol kicks in, damn, even the girls are getting active. Everyone's getting active. Damn, even that female swinging from behind. I'm like, God damn. Can't we just ever have anything nice without somebody just like fucking it up for the rest of us? Watch this celebration. Can't we ever have anything nice without Caitlyn just fucking it up for everyone? I can only imagine if Game 3 was to work out and the Knicks were to win, like, how many more fights are going to happen? How many more are going to take place? It's probably gonna get wild. That's why I wouldn't want to be a road fan against the Knicks and have to travel up to Madison Square Garden. I'm gonna say I'm a chill. Nah, I'm good. I think I'll watch the game at the bar. I'll be fine. I'm not going to New York. Fuck that shit. It's already bad enough they're taking over stadiums. Maybe I'm kind of glad we're not in finals, so they'll take our stadium over. And if you've seen the way Knicks fans have been taking over stadiums lately, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I think I'll pass. All right, well, I'll tell you what, man. I got to get ready because I'm going to Lone Star Saloon. Maybe I might stream a little bit there and let you guys see the scenery. It's good. You know, they got live music, live band music, good food and shit. And I'm definitely gonna go, check that out. It's more of a Western bar, country theme. So if you guys are into that, Forte, then you'll like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wear Wrangler boots, the Wrangler jeans, cowboy hat, and all that stuff. It's more of a country style theme bar, and they play live music and everything, and they have live band music on Fridays and Saturdays. What's today? Saturday. That's correct. It's a lot of music tonight, so maybe I might let you guys see a little bit of that. Maybe some food that I'm going to order and see the scenery and the people that are there. It's a real cool country western bar, and it's fun. I've been there a couple of times, about 4 or 5 times, and the staff there is really amazing. The food there is really good. It's just But anyways, let me go ahead and get ready for that. And I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Maybe I'll stream later tonight, and we can, talk about whatever it is I want to talk about and go from there. So I'm going to go to Lone Star Saloon. I'll check you guys out later. Thanks for stopping by.